just didn't want to interrupt you. Sorry, bro.
Oh, okay. Hello, Luke.
Welcome, Luke. Ancient story. So yeah, this is two topographical maps of the main pyramid complex section of the Grand Canyon, where King Cade's discovery was reported, and where this Isis temple is. This is the closest one of the 50 pyramid-marked temples that anybody can see or walk up to access. Not a lot of people know that this entire area of the Grand Canyon is not just a no-fly zone 24/7, 12 months of the year, that they actually have active denial systems for drones there. Shout out to good friend Rex Bear at Leak Project. He's gone there a couple times, and he has it on camera where he had his drone going over trying to explore it, and then all of a sudden, just boom! They crashed it. They freaking fried it.
Well,
and then
I was just
after on video that he has it filmed, and it's on his channel, of the Apache helicopter coming up from out of the canyon, and like they were chased out by an Apache helicopter, and they were just on the edge of the Grand Canyon, of the main site that you can look out to here and see.
What if it's a no-fly zone because it's still producing electricity and it's stuff? It was the actual area that sank the drone because it's stuffed with the electrics.
That's possible, and
Why
that
is
would
there a
explain why
military
the compasses always start spinning in certain areas around these places.
There you go.
Possibly.
It's in operation then, because I'll tell you this: all the research I've done in the coils I build, they make my compasses spin, or I can direct at what pole goes where. If I want the south pole on the bottom, I can do that, or I can make it continuously spin. So that's when it's operating in like a vortex, and that's exactly what a pyramid does. It's torsion mechanics. It builds a torsion field above at the top of the pyramid itself. So if it is still operating, and you're absolutely right, a drone in the wrong spot caught that wave, be gone.
Well, the drone actually crashing, Rex believes, and there's more cases of this, that it's actually the Park Rangers National Guard and was probably a active denial drone unit on the Apache helicopter that he filmed a few minutes later that crashed it, and that like they straight hijacked it and then like intentionally destroyed it, like where they accelerated it into the cliff sort of thing as soon as they got it. This is one of the geoglyphs, or I think this is a geoglyph, or earthenwork, whatever you want to call it, of Nazca, Peru, the same area, Dutch, that you were showing the Nazca. It was Nazca Peru skulls, right?
Yeah.
And so this is from the hill mountain there, which is now desert, down to the ocean. So this is a couple hundred feet, I believe. And it's been there, they say it's thousands of years, just as old as the rest of the Nazca lines. This is clearly a fractal ray antenna of sorts.
I was just about to say. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Straight fractal ray antenna, and it has very similar geometries to the under ocean structures that you were showing at.
It looks like a trident.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to apologize to everyone, by the way. I'm going to sound really nasally because I've just come out of surgery like 2 hours ago.
Out of surgery?
Yeah. Just I should still be at hospital actually, but
that's why Luke's not showing his face. It's all done up.
It wasn't anything to do with the other stream the other night, was it?
No. I didn't overdo it. No, I had a nose surgery planned for today, and
it was a cosmetic plan.
It's not cosmetic. It's quite functional.
Come on, you're trying to look like David Beckham, aren't you?
Oh, I'm going to come on tomorrow with a completely different nose. But it's quite awful, because at least in England, right, you know, they kind of let you go. They're like, sign this form and you can leave, and you could have an axe in your head and they'd be like, sign the form. It's not our problem. So as long as you sign the form, you're all right. So this rule was like, you know, you got to stay until like 5, and I was like, 5? Give me the form. Signed the form, pulled the cannula out my arm. They're like, you can't do that. It's like, yes, I can. I've
I
signed
just
the form.
I've signed the form. You're no longer liable.
Walking out, like, covering my own blood, like, see you later, bitches. But yeah, it was.
So
it was quite-
Well,
if you
I might
didn't
have to go,
join-
guys. It's almost midnight here, and hitting 3 hours.
Fair enough. Good, Campbell.
So
I did
you
want
guys
to just
can
finish
feel free to
covering.
keep going if you want to keep going.
Okay.
I'll just
So
Could
you
I
wanted to-
address one thing that everybody, before anybody goes, because there's going to be a lot of people when I play this back on my channel or whatever, and they will address it and bring up the famous excuse that everyone brings up when we're seeing a lot of this stuff, which is they try to say it's pareidolia, which is people try to say that we're seeing shapes and things and that we're not really seeing anything and that blah 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 doesn't mean anything. But I would bring back up what we started talking about at the start of this whole thing, which is the military bases in the middle of each one.
Sorry,
And
before you continue on with that and addressing exactly what you're talking about, these topographical maps of the pyramids there. So topographical map means the lowest part is this river, the base, and then the highest point is the peaks. And each of the peaks are these exact pyramids and temples that are literally called Isis temple, Hindu temple, Ra temple, and so forth. But that they perfectly align up. The peaks of each of those pyramid temples in the Grand Canyon perfectly align up to each star in the Orion constellation in the sky, as well as the other major stars in the Perseidon sky of the Orion constellation, so that there's not just it, but even more, and that it's perfect proportion, star for star, or star for peak, over 30 stars and peaks of these pyramid temple structures there, so that if you're trying to claim pareidolia or some coincidence, it's
Come back, Bernie.
absolutely.
The connection lords have spoken. Dutch,
Losing
carry on.
your your finale there, Bernie. But this is proving that it's not pareidolia, right? That is an exact representation of what we see in the sky. So, you know, not seeing things. All right, go Dutch. Bernie seems to have done a bolt.
there's a graphic that the BurnEye has on the screen, the showing the overlay of the constellation, and people, you know, again, they try to say that we're seeing things, but it can't be that it can't be that it's just us seeing something. And I'm going to prove that pareidolia is used by the most elite, occult, high-end people in our current society, and that they use pareidolia. I'm going to show you right now and prove it to you. Here's North America. We zoom in on North America. Here's the Colorado Rocky Mountains. And the Colorado Rocky Mountains, if you zoom in on them, do you guys see this?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the shape. If you look at it, I'm going to tell you what shape this is. It's a bucking horse shape, okay, where it's got two hooves on the front and the bucking horse, and it's got this weird mane on the back that's spiked. Now I'm going to zoom in on what would be the eye, and you've got Estes Lake up at the highest point of Colorado of the eye of the horse. Now, to prove that this is not me seeing something, that this is actually a shape that's there, the eye of the horse is looking down upon the famous swastika-shaped Denver airport. And at the Denver airport, when you're driving out of the Denver airport, there is the very famous, and let me see if I can find it on here, the Denver airport horse. And let me bring it in at ground level here.
Mate, we can't see what you put because Bernie's...
Bernie, what have you hit? Oh, there.
Okay. And at the Denver airport is the famous Denver airport horse, Denver Airport horse. There it is. The blue Mustang. They call him Blucifer. Now, the reason they call him Blucifer isn't because it's a bucking bronco for like the Denver Broncos. He's the same color as the mountains appear at a distance, and he's got a very specific shape to him. He's got the spiked mane and glowing red eyes. And now we can go in and see it at a ground level. They've gone up, and you can see at picture level if we do this. Blucifer is a giant blue horse, the color of the mountains at a distance, and he's got the glowing red eyes, but the back of his head is the mane that I just showed you.
Intentionally made Blucifer.
Yes, the intentionally made Blucifer here at the swastika-shaped airport. The horse in the mountains itself.
Like,
now there's a guy riding on the horse.
Effed up, like, because there's the huge underground part of that place, and that they intentionally made it a demonic Blucifer.
Yeah, that's the one
like
that had
3 horsemen coming in with the apocalypse.
Oh yeah, the 3 horsemen.
Right.
Yeah, because it had the big mural in there. Yeah.
Okay, now the apocalypse ties in with this because the guy riding on the back of the green or blue horse, depending on which one you want to go with, it looks it's pareidolia now. We're straight up pareidolia on purpose. That this is the bucking horse. The bucking horse is looking at the bucking horse, and on his back is riding a guy in a cloak that looks like he's got a beard up here. And this is Yellowstone up here. The head of the horseman of the apocalypse that's riding on. It looks like he's got a cloak. And he's over. This is his head. This is his nose and his eyes.
You heard it here, folks. Yellowstone is going to erupt.
Well, no. I didn't say that. But that this is pareidolia. This is pareidolia.
First.
And to prove that they're using pareidolia now, I'm going to show you one more example of it. There's a movie called Zardoz with Sean Connery. It's a very, very strange movie where Sean Connery is wearing this.
What? Oh my
and
gosh.
Sean Connery, the movie starts out and it says the gun is good and the male appendage is bad, but they don't say the male appendage. They say the P word. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get your stream banned. But Sean Connery plays a mutant in the future. And in the future, there's this giant head that lands and they pour grain into the mouth of the head. And then the head takes off and flies through an invisible barrier to an Illuminati base made of mirror pyramids. And there's people that are living forever in this Illuminati base, but they require food, and they ship them humans and food as slaves and as food. This is in the movie. Now, the head of Zardoz. Why is it called Zardoz? In the movie, Sean Connery plays a enforcer for these people, and he's he finds a book out in a burned library. And the cover's been burned off, and most of the book has been burned away, but he still picks it up, and he teaches himself to read using this book. It's The Wizard of Oz. But it says Zardoz because part of the cover's burned off, and he teaches himself to read via The Wizard of Oz. Now, why does that matter? The head of Zardoz is in the shape of the North American plate itself. Now, to see it, first let me show you the head. And they always show it at the same angle in the movie. It's this way. Now, I'm going to prove this to you because the movie's about the Wizard of Oz. Why does that matter? The head of Zardoz is in the North American plate where the 2 eyes of Zardoz are here and the mouth is right here. Now, to see it, you have to look a world away. And I'm going to prove it to you that they meant this because when I zoom in on the mouth of Zardoz where they toss the grain into the mouth of Zardoz, first of all, let me ask you, do you see the outline of the head of Zardoz here with the 2 eyes and the mouth? Compared to
oh yeah, wow,
the picture of Zardoz.
Like
it's like he's got the beard, he's got the. But now let me prove this to you that this is real. When we zoom in on the mouth of Zardoz, where you toss in the grain in the movie, in Kansas is known for its grain, but when I zoom in on the spot where the mouth is, there's this place, and it's called.
We're not in Kansas.